Did you see the Birdman Breakfast Club thing?
Did I? Man, y'all better respect with a K on it.
Put some respect on my name.
Put some respect on my name. You better put some respect on my name.
All three of y'all.
All three of y'all. Tree. A tree like a palm tree. Like a tree with leaves. Boy, that was hysterical. I still didn't really get what exactly did Charlamagne or them say in the past that made him say that? I'm usually up on it every day, so I was like, what
I mean, I've done a bunch of interviews with Charlamagne, and Birdman has come up in some of these interviews.
Y'all kissed in the mouth, bro, forever. Like that's like y'all are forever known as the hip hop couple who kissed each other in the mouth. Like whenever people talk about weird things we've seen in hip hop and how hip hop has gotten so strange and people are accepting of it. Like, you see Lil Wayne suing him for $51 million. He's notorious for not paying people. He didn't pay Juvenile. He didn't pay BG. He didn't pay Manny Fresh. Turk's looking for his money. It's like, why would you sign to Birdman? He doesn't pay his condo. He don't pay on his cars, his private jets. Like, why would you want to sign to Birdman? What about signing to Birdman looks appealing when you see how bad he's done business elsewhere?
I'm not sure what exactly Birdman was referring to exactly.
But from what you said, that's enough.
It may have been one or two or three Vlad TV interviews. it may have been.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
yeah.
I'm gonna be extra careful next time I interview Birdman. You know,
exactly. Because I don't want Birdman running up on me. Now I know him too, and I've been fortunate to be around all these dudes. I've been to the barbecues at the crib back in the day when it was the Cash Money days and everything. But dude's a billionaire, so you might respect him because you don't know when you might need that dude.
Okay.
That's one thing I've realized in this business. I think one reason I've been able to maintain, sustain, and stay relevant because I understand relationships. You're going to need people again. You're going to come around people again. I always say Hollywood is very small. Black Hollywood is 2 blocks. So you could talk a lot of, like when I watch your stuff, because I watch you all the time, just want to say big shout out.
Thank you.
Vlad TV.
Yep.
Because when I tell you I've been on you 6 years, like literally, you and a few others I'm on every day. Just to keep my ear, you always got what's hot and what the hell's going on. You are my CNN. You understand?
Thank you.
Okay, I told you that when I saw you at the Michael Jordan party. And you were there when Prince performed, right?
I was there when Prince performed.
That's when we saw each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Rest in peace, Prince, man. Wasn't that an amazing night?
It was.
It was. But not to get off subject, but a lot of these young comics I see that kind of go after people. I just happen to be one of those dudes that really, truly knows everybody. And I'm not being cocky. That's why I never in my comedy really go after people. I'll touch on it, but the jokes I do about people, they can even laugh at. A lot of comics are like, give a fuck. I ain't ever gonna meet that motherfucker. You don't know that.
Right.
You might blow up next month and dude's doing a movie and they needed somebody. Offer your ass some real good money.
Right.
You're not getting the role. That's just my particular style.
I mean, I don't know though. I mean, being a comic,
yeah.
You know, it seems like the best comics do kind of talk about people, and you know, like if you look at, like, for example, some of the, you know, when you look at, for example, some of Eddie Murphy's funniest moments, you know, when he's talking about Mr. T, like, you know,
we can go on and on. Bill Cosby, all the other people we talked about.
Even when I interviewed Eddie Griffin, he told me that when he met Michael Jackson, one of your famous routines was Michael Jackson on crack.
Yes.
How
that was one of his favorite jokes.
Okay, so you and Michael talked about that?
I knew Mike very well.
So Michael
Jackson, a very deep brother.
What was the Michael Jackson on crack routine like?
I said, anybody that fuck their face up like that got to be on something. Who knew it was propofol?
You thought it was crack.
Hey.
Okay. So Michael Jackson actually approached you at one point, or you approached him, or how did that work?
It was actually at Neverland.
You went to his house?
Yes.
Okay.
There was some kind of event going on. And I knew a friend of the family.
Okay.
So they brought me out to the house. And then Michael found I was out there. I was out with my kids and enjoying the Neverland shit. So one of the dudes came out and said, Mr. Jackson would like to meet you. I think they talking about Joe. I know Papa Joe from out here in Vegas. You know? Mm-hmm. So I thought it was talking about Joe. He's like, no, Michael wants to meet you. I'm like, nigga, shit. So I'm nervous like a motherfucker, nigga. I'm like, shit.
You've been talking shit about it.
Yeah,
bro.
did you see the joke and shit? So he has a healthy sense of humor. He said that's one of my favorite jokes. So anyway, we got to talking and found out we both got elastic imaginations and shit, you know. And first time we met, second time, was in Miami. He was out there recording or something, and it was like a 5-6-star hotel. And we walked in this motherfucker. Michael rented out 6 floors.
Okay.
Nobody can get close to this nigga.
You have a great point.
Yep.
But my thing is, I just one of those, I kind of like a loyal dude. Like I couldn't do any Will Smith jokes, even if I have jokes. I have jokes that personally from being around the dude that we say amongst each other, but that dude had so much to do with my life and career. Some people I don't just mess with. But if you came and saw my act, oh, you see a whole lot of shit that I go in on motherfuckers.
Okay.
But it's just certain shit I just go, ooh, yeah.
Him.
I got a meeting with him next Thursday. I'm trying to get this money for this new project. I can't go there. You know what I mean? Kanye's my friend. As many jokes as I got in my head about him and Kim, I was like,
So you can't talk about Kanye and Kim?
I could certain things I could talk about, but just some of them jokes that I tell my wife sometimes, oh, that shit would kill. Oh, but I would get a phone call, a fuck you. I don't need a fuck you from certain people right now. You know what I mean? Some people, hey, it is what it is. Ask me about some people.
You know Kanye?
Very well.
Very well?
I'm the one that, I don't know. See, I got stories, dude. Do you have time?
We got some time.
Do you remember Kanye's workout plan?
Yep.
That was the first thing he attempted. It was right after he came out of Jesus Walks.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote the video.
Oh, okay.
That's me in the video. And one of my characters, Aloysius Simmons. I was like a buff, black, gay version of Richard Simmons. It was me and Anna, what's her name? How am I forgetting her name? The white chick that died of an overdose.
Anna Nicole Smith.
It was me, Anna Nicole Smith, and Kanye. If you look at the video, you'll be like, oh shit, that was my video. That is you. So Kanye came to me after Jesus Walks. He was a fan of me being a stand-up comedian, and I was good friends with Don C, and I'd always been going out to Chicago performing in John Monopoly and all that whole crew of Kanye from the beginning. And we were always friends. He's like, yo, I want to do a funny video. I want to do something. I want people to see me in a funny light. So Jesus Walks, I wrote that and I co-starred in it with him. So anybody that knows that video, Kanye's workout plan, they find out a lot about me today. You'll see me all up in the video. I was the Aloysius Simmer, the aerobics instructor. You looking at it right now?
I'm looking at it right now. That was actually Anna Nicole Smith. I didn't realize that was actually her.
Yeah. And she died about a year later or something. But we actually went around the country with Kanye. We were doing shows and shit. If you remember the American Music Awards that year, he did Kanye's workout plan, and I performed at the AMAs with him and everything. So, yeah, man, it's been a crazy journey, Vlad.
What's your take on Kanye these days?
I'm going to tell you about Kanye, what I feel about him. This dude has, and his wife, I'm going to just call her his wife, they have mastered this new shit called social media. Okay, Kim, I don't know what she does for a living. If you ask Kim what she does for a living, she probably couldn't tell you. I'm just going to talk about Kanye. Kanye's an actual talented dude.
Right.
He actually makes this shit called music.
Right.
Okay. By him getting with Kim and having a baby, and always in the news, two babies. Every day they in the news. All that can do is help his brand. Whether you like him, you think he's the biggest asshole, but Kanye tell you I'm an asshole.
Right.
I think that just all helps with selling albums, because how many talented, super talented dudes do we know? They got the music down. They ain't got a mouthpiece.
Right.
They're not interesting. Unfortunately, in this generation, you don't just buy music because it's good, like back in the day. You're old enough to remember when you actually bought music because it was great music.
Well, okay, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. The Weeknd. Super talented, never does interviews.
You said super talented, never does interviews.
Right.
Okay.
Doesn't have a mouthpiece, like you said.
I'm glad you're bringing this up.
Prince never did interviews.
Okay, let's just stop right there. Let's start with The Weeknd.
Okay.
Are you telling me that, okay, yes, his music's great, but you're telling me that if he didn't have some type of personality and he did talk, that wouldn't help him with album sales? I'm just being honest.
Would it? It probably would. Frank Ocean's another one.
Okay, but for those of us that really know numbers and really know sales, nothing against Frank Ocean, because I like him. But dude is dealing with his own issues. We know what that is.
Okay.
And because he's quiet, dude, you don't think that if we were to see more of Frank Ocean and he would talk more, it would equate with the music. All I'm saying is it goes together. You could be the most talented guy in the world. Like I always joke about nowadays, we all know, you know hip hop and you know this business. You could, if you walked into Jimmy IV tomorrow, Vlad, me and you together, and the cameraman, what's your name, dog? Anai. Okay, we go into Jimmy IV and we go, we got this guy, Jimmy. He plays 19 instruments. He can tap dance, swim, tightrope, and he juggles. They're like, great. What's his fucking social media?
Right.
Has he shot anybody lately? Is he talking shit about Trump? It's almost like, unfortunately, us going 19 instruments, he dances, he sings. It's more than that nowadays. Because if that's the case, a whole lot of people wouldn't be famous.
A lot of people get famous just from social media, not being
Absolutely.
talented.
It's a new lane.
But there are a lot of people who just really are phenomenal artists. Adele, another one who really doesn't do interviews.
Right.
Like walks right through the red carpet.
Right.
But her music is so phenomenal, and you can't really get much bigger than Adele these days.
Absolutely. I hate to say this about Adele, though, and I hate bringing the race card in here, but she's also not black. And I think a lot of times white people can get away with certain things that we can't. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of super talented black people out there that are absolutely amazing, and it wouldn't be that same playing field. It's just not. You can't just be talented now. Oh, you're so good. No, it's in this day and age. I always like to say equate it to this to Instagram comedians now. It's almost like, okay, I'm not trying to sound like an old angry comedian, but that still is a craft. You still have to work. It's almost like cheating that you got 6 million followers on Instagram, and I look at your videos and I go, is that it? But I have to back up and go, that is a lane now. But that dude couldn't do stand-up. He's not a true comedian, but hey, it's a lane now. I get it. Adele, not knocking her, I like her music. But let a black woman, name me one black chick that's super talented and can do that same thing and have the same numbers as her.
Let me think. Who are the biggest? Beyonce never does interviews.
But you can't, I'm gonna tell you why you can't use Beyonce.
Beyonce never does interviews.
Right. But
she never even really
established.
She never even really talks.
Right. But here's the thing about Beyonce, and we're only talking about right now. I can name you 3 or 4 things that I hate to say it, but that bitch don't have to talk. And we're still gonna go see her music. I'm only saying this for facts. Okay. She's married to the biggest rapper in the world. Okay. She's been famous for a long time.
Right.
She's got thousands of hits. Now she can. You get what I'm trying to say? It's like Kobe could do that at the end of his career, but when you're coming up or you're in the middle prime, you had to do that. You had to have some type of personality. I'm just talking about in this last 10, 15 years. You brought Prince up. Remember, he was from a generation where truly your talent can speak, and he didn't have to do all that. I can name a whole bunch of amazing artists. And you got to leave kind of Michael and Prince out of it because they were exceptions. They were beyond the curve. They were so huge, and they crossed over, and the whole world loved them. But remember, back in the day, you could just be like I think Eddie Murphy said, you could just be a fat chicken-eating motherfucker. But if your ass could sing, you had a hit. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, women nowadays, if you're not showing ass and titties, you could be much. If Jill Scott was twerking and showing a uterus, she'd probably be bigger, but that's not her style. She's an amazing singer. She writes amazing songs. And Common, I can keep going because I'm Common, right?
Right.
Conscious rapper.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's not talking about bitches and hoes and turn up in your mouth, nigga. Hit that bitch, pulling up back, nigga. That's not his thing. But in this day and age, kind of like if you ain't talking about that, you're just like, oh, Common, they're one of the greatest ever. But he ain't doing the numbers, I hate to say it, that some of these, the Migos and some of these dudes are. But they grew up watching him.
What about Kendrick? What about
Kendrick Lamar?
What about J. Cole?
You know what let's start with Kendrick.
Okay.
You know what I fucking love about not just he's an LA dude, but Kendrick has brought back lyrics, and this might be the old school with me. He's shown that even in this ignorant ass generation, he's showing motherfucker people can spit, can still sell albums,
right?
Still blow people away. I love the fact that he's from Compton, but the whole world loves him. They used to be like, if you were Compton, then that's just gangster shit, and only Crips and Bloods like you. No, man, you go to a Kendrick Lamar concert, and you'll see the whitest kid on the planet loving
right.
Kendrick Lamar, down to the killer black dude right next to him who just got out of jail Thursday. He's shown that you can still flip it and still be lyrics and win. Same thing with J. Cole. I love J. Cole. They showed, he showed, hey man, you can have an education nowadays.
Right.
Not everybody's killed somebody. Not everybody's bitch, hoe, fuck your mama. You know what I mean? I kind of look at that with my comedy career. I had a different kind of like lane than everybody else. I never tried to be Chris Tucker. I didn't want to be Mike Epps. I wasn't trying to be Katt Williams. I wasn't trying to be Kevin Hart. But guess what? I sustained the time, the test of time. Mm-hmm. People still come up to me and go, yo, I'll get a LeBron, a D Wade, a Kobe. These dudes are like, yo, I grew up watching you on TV. I still remember the joke from Def Comedy Jam. That shit's still funny. I still remember you doing a joke about da-da-da on BET. That showed my jokes stood the test of time the same way as a great artist does. So that's what I take away, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And I still make your ass laugh to this day.
You know Katt Williams?
Very well.
What's your
From
take?
the beginning.
What's your take on just the various things?
Tripping the fuck out.
Yeah. I mean, from getting choked out by the 17-year-old to the punching the dude on stage and that's just this latest batch.
Oh yeah. You gotta understand, I've known this dude from day one, literally, and he would sit here and tell you the same
Right,
thing.
and what was his original comedy
Cat
name?
in the Hat.
Cat in the Hat, there we go.
For all of us that know Katt Williams, and I'm not knocking him or nothing, he, right now, what I feel like he's doing, remember I told you how Kanye West just understands the part of off the stage, keep your name flowing and people talking because it equates to sales.
Right.
If you notice, after old boy, little teenager choked him the fuck out and hit him, stole on him and shit, he's also going, buy tickets to come see me this weekend in DC, New York, wherever the fuck Katt was.
Right.
It's marketing. He understood. He's kind of been laying low because of the crazy antics, but I would tell that to him in his face. And he's my boy. I have nothing against Katt. He realizes this social media, you got to do something. What could I do to make the entire country talk about me right now? And he succeeded. Now,
Get choked out by a 17-year-old.
yeah. If I need to get choked out and stomped out by the high school kicker, by the goalie on the soccer team, if that's gonna get everybody to talk and come see me in Detroit this weekend to sell these tickets, then that's what I'm gonna do. It's just some people, how far will you go for publicity? When you think about it, he was in the news all day, every day for a good month, every day.
Well, right, because before the whole 17-year-old thing, there was
The pool store in Atlanta.
Yeah,
the
there was that,
airport.
but then there was the onstage Beanie Siegels concert when he looked like he was about to jump into a double Dutch game.
I couldn't believe that when he was doing this shit right here and just go punch a random killer. Kat, did you not see that Philly's on top with murders right now? Don't you know they call that shit Philadelphia?
Right.
Like, bro, what is going on? And it's not like he rolls with securities and a bunch of people. Like, dude, my whole thing, and I would tell Kat this right now like a big brother. I would say, bro, you're just lucky that wasn't a kid with a 9mm in his pocket that day.
Right.
You're just lucky his daddy wasn't standing 2 feet away with his 9mm. People don't play. You can't just randomly fuck with people now, even
Right.
for the sake of publicity.
Okay.
Because you don't know nowadays, we living in that day and age. You got a gun, I got a gun too.
I'm going to tell you, that did not look like a publicity stunt.
No, it didn't look like a publicity stunt, but he knew good and fucking well that everybody's got a phone. And then, yeah, just like right now. Vlad, let's pick a private white school up in Mulholland and let me go do some crazy shit. Whether I think it is or not, I got to know that everybody's got a camera, whether it's the little kid
Right.
or it's the 30-year-old principal. Everybody, it's gonna get out there like that, and the world's gonna be talking. People are just trying to figure out ways. Okay, my talent is just not enough right now. And I think also he's thinking Kevin Hart is so out of this stratosphere right now, as far as our game goes. It ain't just my jokes. Something needs to happen to kind of move me, because not necessarily you gonna win or be up there, because Kevin obviously didn't entertain this dude. You know, I'm pretty sure Kevin's camp was like, this is what he wants you to do.
Right.
He wants you to fire back, because that's just gonna help him out. You know what I mean? I look at it from the outside in and I just kind of laugh. You know, I got love for all those dudes, for Mike, for Kat, for Kevin. Hey man, these are all dudes that grew up watching me do what I do. And one day they're gonna be 20 years in. So let's see if they're still around 20 years after. You know what I mean? The fact. You know?
Yeah.
I'm just not going there myself. I don't feel I need to. You know what I'm saying? I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I can't be doing crazy shit that my daughter's gonna be like, Daddy, did you really get knocked out by one of my friends? You know, I don't need that.
Harriet Tubman is supposed to be on the $20 bill.
Harriet Tubman on the 20.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I feel great about that. And they need to put Tupac on the $2 bill.
Tupac on the $2 bill.
Yeah, they need to just help us. You know what? Black folks done did a
That
whole
makes
lot of
sense
shit.
because the first letter of his name is the number 2.
Bro, why you think I said it?
Right.
I'm trying to start that right now. We need to put Tupac on the $2 bill. It started with Harriet Tubman, and I get that, and that's a beautiful thing. I think we should be recognized by now. I can think of a whole lot of other amazing, beautiful black people that have done a whole lot of things for us in the last 300 years that we should have their faces on a couple more dollars. I think James Brown should be on the 10. What?
James Brown on the 10.
Put James Brown on the 10, put Tupac on the 2, put Harriet Tubman on the 20, and while you're bullshitting, put Martin Luther King on the 100. That's the soundbite right there.
Martin Luther King on 100.
That's the soundbite right there. That's the shit. I read it off nicely for you too. Who gonna stop me? Like I said, the funny don't stop.
Look, I work with them on Mad. Good guys. Good heart. Good guys. Give you the shirt off their back. Is it ironic? Is it a coincidence that they both, most of their friends are white and got white wives? They like white women? I mean.
And they develop envy because they go home. They get out the car with their friend, with their other partner, and he listening to your music. They walk in the house. They girl listening to your music. They go downstairs. The kids doing a dance to your music. Now they are hypnotized with hatred.